I'm here today to talk about whether people should receive a universal basic income or not. A universal basic income is a government set program where someone receives money on a regular basis. They do not have to work for that money, so they just get money for doing nothing, whether they're unemployed, looking for a job, whatever. They're just receiving money and not doing anything for it. The intention of a universal basic income is to provide enough money to cover the basic cost of living and to provide financial security. It's seen as a way to offset job losses. So people that are unemployed or looking for a job still get money. Who receives universal basic income? Some would pay every citizen regardless of their income, and others would choose to only pay those below the poverty line, whether they're working or not. So it's kind of opinion based, and some people think one thing, other people think another. Some pros of a universal basic income. Laid off workers could afford to wait for a better job or better wages because they would have some money coming in while they're not employed. It may help remove the poverty trap from traditional welfare problems. And the payment could help stabilize the economy during recessionary periods because there's still some money flow going to people even though the economy is bad. And lastly, young couples would have more money to start families because young people they choose not to have a family because they don't have the money to pay for a child, or just they don't have enough money to start the family. And that would mainly affect countries with or areas with lower birth rates. Some cons of UBI. Inflation could be triggered because there's just money going to people that don't have or that aren't working for it. That there would be more money in the world. There's no increased standard of living in the long run because of inflated prices. So people would just have to pay more for something. Like a $500,000 house right now would cost $1 million in 5 years or something. Another con is that it's basically free income, which would give people no incentive to get jobs. So work might seem optional for them because they don't have to do anything for that money. And lastly, people don't have to go to work for their money. The rich will have to pay through taxes because I think in order to cover the costs of the universal basic income, people would be taxed because it's a government program. So basically the rich's taxes would go up, and that would pay for the income. My opinion on this topic is I do not think universal basic income is a good option because I think it would make the unemployment rate go up. Like when COVID hit, a bunch of people quit their jobs and thought work was optional just because they had some sort of income to fall back on. And obviously no one wanted to go to work They'd rather take the free money. And I guess that's about it. So thank you for listening to my podcast. Have a nice day.